Now, before we get to this, we have a few things we have to go over. Number one, the Raiders released LaMarcus Joyner. The Seahawks have released Carlos Dunlap, both salary cap cuts. They were strictly for salary cap. Marcus May, Leonard Williams, Brandon Sharif, Chris Godwin, Cam Robinson are now under franchise tags. They've been franchise tagged. Though we made a mistake. We said that Detroit was going to franchise tag Kenny Galladay. That is not what's going to happen. He's not being franchise tagged. He's actually going to be a free agent where he can go wherever he decides to go, and he'll get a quote unquote big bag for that. Also, some news: the Patriots have traded for offensive tackle Trent Brown from the Raiders, in which they are swapping the 2022 picks. This started back in this offseason. Trent Brown originally played for the Patriots, left in free agency, got paid a lot of money to go to Las Vegas and play for the Raiders, and in his first year made a Pro Bowl. So you think, oh, great investment. His second season was not as good, and Mike Mayock was not thrilled. The GM of the Las Vegas Raiders was not thrilled. He said, we want more consistency at our tackle, particularly right tackle, which is where Trent Brown played. We want more consistency at that position. And now they have traded Trent Brown to the Patriots. Now, it was a 4-year contract he had signed. So he had 2 years, and I think he had about $24 million left on it. So they had to restructure the deal. So it's now, they restructured it. It's a 1-year contract, $11 million, and he can leave in free agency next year. Now, the big thing is, I'm wearing this jersey, and I told myself, when Dak Prescott signs with the Cowboys via franchise tag, via he gets a new contract or whatever, I am wearing this jersey. That's what happened. At about 7 o'clock Eastern Time, Dak Prescott signed a multi-year deal with the Dallas Cowboys. A 4-year, $160 million, which could go up to $164 million, as people have been talking about, such as Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, where they've gone and said the Cowboys like doing like an option, a 5th-year option on the contract. Basically, it's not really anything. It's a void part of the contract where they just give you more money on the end of it. So it could be $164 million. This contract is probably the best thing that has happened to the Cowboys in quite some time. Because Dak Prescott was an asset that you needed to keep. You needed him. Because we saw this past season, after he went down, inconsistent quarterback play. Very inconsistent quarterback play. From Andy Dalton, from Ben DiNucci, and Garrett Gilbert. Who I will say, though, I would like to keep Garrett Gilbert. I think he will be a good player. Or a good backup quarterback. Because he is athletic, and he's a very strong kid. And he's only 27. He's the same age as Dak. This contract will finish when Dak is 31. So, this is going to be a great deal for the Cowboys. Let's go through the parameters of this. Dak Prescott's gonna make he's gonna have a $66 million bonus. That is the biggest bonus of all time for a quarterback or for any position. It passed Matt Ryan from a few years ago. He now is going to make $40 million on average if it was 160, but if it's 164 million, he's going to make about 42 million in the first 3 years, and in his fourth year, he's going to make 34 million. Now, this is where it gets very interesting if you're the Cowboys who made this deal. Dak Prescott, by the time he gets to year 3 of this contract, compared to when Patrick Mahomes gets to year 3 of his contract that he signed last year, Patrick Mahomes will make $104 million by his third year. But Dak Prescott will almost make $20 million more than that. You can make about $125 million at that point. So that's incredible if you're the Cowboys to give that kind of a contract. Now, the parameters of this contract, they were talking about this, supposedly, according to Davenport, they said that when they made this deal, they had worked on it all weekend. They were talking about it all weekend. They really wanted to get this done on Monday, and it started to get pushed along. But then there was reports that Dak had a hand in it, and even Jerry Jones. So there was 4 parties involved, is what they kept saying. Stephen Jones and Todd France, Dak's agent, and Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott. And it basically went, in this contract, there's a no trade clause, and there's a no tag clause. Basically saying the Cowboys or any other team cannot franchise tag him ever. The only way they can break that clause is if they pay him about $32 million to break that clause, which is convenient if you're Dak, because by the time this contract ends, there'd be new broadcasting money going into the league because of the new broadcast systems. So that's going to boost the salary cap up, and he's going to make even more money. And he's going to have another chance at the pie if he so wants it. And I think this is very interesting. We heard that Stephen Jones was the saver person. He was the guy who kept everything, kept every little note tag. Budget Steven, basically, is what I like to call him. Where Jerry Jones was wildcatting Jerry, where he just tried to pay everybody. And it worked, but you can't do it all the time. I think there was a mixture of it, and I think that was the perfect thing they could do. Because this deal was 2 years in the making, could have been 3 years in the making, should have been 3 years in the making. They should have paid him after year 3. But this basically goes and tells all the Dak haters that you think I'm not worth that. I have something that it's not recent, it was a few years ago, but it was Kevin Hart was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and they were talking about Dave Chappelle, and I'm going to paraphrase this, but when Rogan brought up the part of Dave Chappelle and him leaving, Kevin Hart dropped what he was holding and basically said, in what Dave was gonna say, and what Dave probably said was, I can do whatever I want, and you're not gonna tell me how to run it. That's what Dak did. He's like, I've proven I can do it. I've proven that my whole career. And you don't think I'm worth that? I can do it. I can do what I want. And I can get paid the way I want. That's what Dak did. Now, who won this trade? Let's look at it both sides. Dak won this trade on one side. The Cowboys won this trade on. Like, Dak won this contract on one side, and the Cowboys won it on the other side. Dak won it because he got his contract. He got everything he wanted. He got everything he wanted. He's now going to be a very wealthy man. If not already, he now is become a very wealthy man. And he's now going to be able to show people that, yes, I can bring them there. And the Cowboys won because now they're going to get consistent quarterback play from a guy that they don't have to reteach him a system. They don't have to do anything. He can be there, and he's their guy for the next 4 years. And I'm going to end off in this. Dak Prescott's brother, Tad Prescott, went on his Instagram and said it was him and his brother Dak hugging. It was them both hugging, and he had out, when your younger brother gets the phone call that you got what you wanted, it's signed. Now it's your job. And he said, and Tad Prescott was like, congrats, Dak. Now it's time to win the Cowboys the Super Bowl. When Dak Prescott got that call, I think Cowboys fans exploded everywhere. I know I did. I was so happy for him, for the Cowboys, and now it's just that thing. Let's win a Super Bowl. Well, what do you guys think? Should the Cowboys have given Dak Prescott that